In this episode, I'm making moves. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 14 of the Ascent. I am your host Steve Campbell. Today I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm doing with the Ascent. So the Ascent really started as a blog on Medium, and it was really just an attempt for me to start writing more on my own. I do a lot of writing at work at VaynerMedia, but I really wanted to start documenting my own journey and getting back into personal branding and just putting my story out there. I think that was one of the biggest things that I've learned from Gary, is the importance of documenting the journey. Everybody wants to get from point A to point B, and point B is usually a lot higher than where point A was, and everybody sort of defines success on their own terms. So that's what I attempted to do through my blog, and that's what I really challenged myself to do every day. So in doing that, I hoped that I could build my personal brand in sharing my story, and then also inspire others to pursue their dreams, aim a little higher, and then also ultimately share theirs. So Medium rolled out the publication feature, and I decided that rather than me writing every single day about my journey, because there wasn't a whole lot happening each day when I'm just coming to work and doing my thing, and I wanted to make sure that I was also capturing other people's stories as well. So I started reaching out to everyone that I could on Medium that was already doing that natively and sharing their stories and seeing if they would be willing to share theirs on my platform. And long story short, here we are a year later, and my blog is at 25,000 followers. It's a top 100 blog on Medium, and I started this show because of that success, and I really want to take some time to see where I can even go and propel this forward even further. I really haven't taken the time to really go all in on it yet, and it was something that I've always thought in my mind, that I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I wanted to build a business, and I wanted to have my own thing and be my own boss and have that freedom and everything that comes along with that. I think that's something that a lot of people want in life. So once this started to grow like it has, I really started to see that in my mind of, what could this turn into? Could this be that thing for me? And so ultimately what I want this to be is a continuation of the blog, in that I'm documenting my story and my journey. I want to use it as a platform to document other people's along the way, and I really just want to leave my impact on the internet and on the world in this way. And I think that through everyone collectively sharing their stories, we're going to inspire more people to start pursuing their dreams, and not only pursuing their dreams through action, but seeing other people's blueprints on how they got to theirs. So that's really what the magic is when you talk about documenting the journey. It's creating the blueprint for people. It's holding yourself accountable and creating content every day and having a community and building up that support system around you to sort of keep you in check while you're chasing your dreams, but it's also creating that blueprint for others to pursue theirs. One thing that Gary says all the time that I've learned and taken to heart out of the many things is, if anybody who looks like you has made it, you can too. And so I really took that to heart. I sit here every day and I watch him, do the things that he does, and he's a very special person, but it gives me hope that I might actually be able to find some kind of place in that as well. So the format of this thing is and will continue to be just 3 questions that I ask people and 3 questions that I ask of myself when I'm trying to share this story with you, which is, where did I come from, where am I now, and where am I going? Because when you start to see things that way and you start to ask people those questions, it really puts things into perspective. I'm somebody who would often think and say things, but then not always do them. I always had big aspirations. I always had big dreams. I always wanted to own my own business. I always wanted to do a lot of big things, and you're always gonna have that little fear inside of you just for doing that, a fear of failure, but if you just go for it and you just do something, good things will happen to you. It's exactly what happened to me back in 2008 when I ran into Gary Vaynerchuk online, and he was one of the many social media personalities at the time that I was following, and I read his book and I read other people's books, and it came to a point where I just said, I want to see if I can work for that guy. And so I reached out and I emailed, and sure enough, I heard from somebody over here, and they had just a small shop at the time. It was just a little 10-person startup. And they said, sure, we can use an intern. So are you willing to work an internship? There's no pay involved, we're just really early stage. We're not looking to hire anyone right now. I was super excited about it. I said yes immediately. So I approached my family and friends. I told them what I was doing. Not everyone understood it, but my mom really did. And I'm really grateful for her. And she's the most amazing person in the world to me. And she saw that I was passionate about it, and they said that, we'll get you out there and we'll make it work. And so I reached back out to Vayner and I told them that I could afford to live in New York City for 2 months, and I would give them 2 months of my time and attention and hardest effort, and I would be their intern. So when I first moved here, I was told that I could show up at 10 every day, I could leave at 5. In my head, I was like, you guys have no idea. Like, I'm only here for this, and I don't know anyone else in the city. I've never been here before. So I tried to be like Peyton Manning was back in the day. I'd be the first one in, and I'd be the last one to leave. And so I would show up at 7 a.m. every day, I would leave at 7 p.m. every night, and I did that for 60 days, and at the end of that time, I had formed a bond with everybody that was here, and AJ met with me in the kitchen, and him and Gary decided to make me employee number 10 at VaynerMedia. Fast forward 6.5 years, and I'm still here, and I'm really grateful for everything that's happened along the way. I think that these are stories that I'm going to be sharing as part of my journey throughout this process. And so anyone watching this who I've met in New York since I've been here in the last 7 years, thank you for being along for the ride. I picked up little bits and pieces of who I am and who I want to be from watching all of you amazing people and meeting tons and tons of really talented individuals and really smart people who I met the majority of you here at this company, but are now out in the world doing your own things. And so that brings me to where I'm at right now, which is at the end of my tenure here at VaynerMedia. It's a very bittersweet thing for me because this place means a lot to me, obviously, and I spent my 20s here, the bulk of them, and I made a lot of great friends along the way. So I'm leaving this place 7 years later with hundreds of new friends, friends that I know that I'm gonna have for life. I'm leaving it with an incredible girlfriend and the love of my life so far. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking a cue from 2010 Steve's lead, and I'm following my heart and I'm pursuing my dreams. And right now what I have waiting for me is an incredible situation out in Colorado. I'm gonna be moving to Denver tomorrow, actually. By the time you see this, it'll be later today. This is my last week at VaynerMedia. I'm a long-term thinker, and I know Gary thinks super long-term, so I am not saying goodbye. I am very much going to be a part of this world, and I'm still gonna have interaction with the characters around here, and Gary's always has like an open inbox, an open door policy, which I can't thank enough. He's done so much for me, and I can't thank him and AJ enough for taking a chance on me, a kid from Newcastle, Pennsylvania, to come to the big city and work at a startup and see how it's grown from then until now into an 800 person national and global agency. Gary has ambitions to turn this into the largest marketing machine in the world, and that's what he tells us, and I believe him because he's a man of his word, and I know that he prides himself on being that, and he believes in legacy, and that's the kind of thing that I've really taken away from him the most. And I think that learning from him over the years has really put me in a position, in a place mentally where I'm ready to start pursuing my own legacy. When I originally came here, I came here because the man said that he was going to build the biggest building in town, and I believed him. And I told myself that I would give him 5 years in my mind, that 5 years I'll give him to start doing that, and I will see and check in where he is along the way. And here we are later on, and he kept his word. And so I believe the man when he says he's gonna go buy the Jets one day, and I hope that I can help get him there in some way. And I'm really excited to start pursuing my own dreams a little bit further and taking that to the next step, because I'm not getting any younger. I have all the knowledge in the world to do the types of things that I know that I can do, and I really just want to see what kind of impact I can leave on the world. And so that brings me to where I'm going. So I'm going to be pursuing the Ascent full time. I'm going to be doing a lot more of this. You're about to see a shit ton of content in your feeds from me, and I hope that you're okay with that. I promise it won't be like too much. But yeah, I'm looking to do anything and everything. I have so many ideas in my mind. I can't wait for you to start seeing them. I can't wait to start creating things and writing more and filming more and doing all these things. So the punchline of this is, I'm excited. I hope that you're excited for me. Thank you so much. I am filled with gratitude. I've been fortunate enough to be here for a very long time now, and it's crazy to me how much we've accomplished as a collective unit. I couldn't be more proud of this group and this company and everyone that's here, and even the people that have moved on from this place are doing great things, and I can't wait to keep in touch with all of you on the internet and through the platforms that you're about to experience my content on. So I promise I won't often end these things with asking a favor, but the favor that I want to ask of you is, if you're into the idea of redefining success with me, if you're open to pursuing your journey, or if you're open to sharing in mine, what I would ask of you is hit me up, son. I want to know, what can I do for you? Do you have a blog? Hit me up. Do you have a vlog? Hit me up. Do you have a podcast? Hit me up. I'm gonna be reaching out to as many people as I can about collaborating with them. And I wanna start opening up the dialogue for a value exchange. I wanna provide you value in exchange for you providing me value. And you could provide me value right now by spreading awareness. If you're interested in what I'm talking about, check out my website, theascent.biz. And if it's something that you think that you can contribute to, great, hit me up. Hit me up, son. Hit me up. I'm about to be everywhere. Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. What the hell else is there these days? Videos, blog articles, podcasts, you name it. I'm just gonna be creating a lot of content, and I don't wanna confuse anybody. I'm not trying to be an entrepreneur and then I'm just gonna create a bunch of content all the time and try to be Instagram famous. That's not an entrepreneur. To me, and what I've learned is that's part of it. I think everybody should be telling their story to the world, and I think that they should be doing it on these platforms because that's where everyone's spending their time. But I'm looking to build a real business on top of this. Part one for me is storytelling. It's something that I've gotten good at, I think, in my time here, and I'm going to start sharing my story and letting you into my life and what I'm doing and what I'm thinking and what I'm learning. And in turn, like I talked about earlier, I'm hoping that will inspire you to do the same. I think the power of the collective unit of telling their stories and pursuing their dreams and having that community around this is inherently going to just inspire more people, and it's going to get them off their ass and motivated and hopefully doing their own things in this vein. And I want to be there for them in that respect too. Part two is consulting. I'm going to be trying to make money off of this, obviously, and however I can. The content, I guarantee you, will always be free, but I'm always going to offer something else that could be of value to you as well. So if you or somebody you know is somebody who just really have this dream or this gift or something that you just really want to pursue, but you don't really know how to go about it, or how to PR yourself, how to market yourself, I'm going to offer personal brand coaching. I'm going to offer one-on-one consulting. I'm going to offer these types of things based on what I've learned here and what the market has told me and told VaynerMedia that this knowledge in my head is worth. I'm in it to work with the individuals out there, the people that are like me 5-6 years ago when I wanted to start a business, but I had no idea how. I was told that in the 6 years that I've been here, it's like having 2 PhDs or 2 business degrees, and it is absolutely right, and I'm incredibly thankful for that. And I've learned so much, and I've become confident enough in my abilities and my knowledge to really just talk like this, in this tone and in this level. And I'm leaving here on a happy note, and I'm really excited, and I just couldn't be more fired up about it. And I can't wait to bring you all along on this journey with me. So thank you so much. I appreciate your time and attention in advance, any that you're willing to afford, and let's get it, baby. Let's get it.